This is Learning Chromebooks. It's the end of July and it's the July meeting. I'm glad you're here. We've got a good crowd. We're starting a few minutes late, and I apologize for that. A lot of reasons, one of them being a lot of you got here late, but you're here, and that's good. I've got all three of my computers, my PC, my Chromebook, and my Flex machine, just itching to share information with you. And we do this every month. And I'm glad everyone is here. And for those who don't know, I'm Huey Poplock. And let's get started. I've got a video to start off, and then we'll talk about some of those things, and we'll branch off. And I got a few other things to show you. So let's see. I'll share again. Video. New features in Chrome OS 115. I'm Huey Poplock. Android app streaming. This feature allows you to stream apps from your Android phone to your Chromebook. This means you can use your favorite Android apps on your Chromebook even if they're not available in the Chrome Web Store. You'll be able to use the app streaming on your Chromebook. Getting everything set up is made possible thanks to the Phone Hub functionality, which offers deep integration between your phone and Chromebook. There are some limitations, however, as Google notes in the official support document. The first of which is that you'll need to have a Phone Hub enabled and are using a Pixel 4a or a new Xiaomi 12T, 12T Pro, or 13 or 13 Pro. Your phone must be running Android 13 or newer and have cross-device services installed. This means that some devices aren't currently supported, such as the Galaxy S23 Ultra, Nothing Phone, and others. Saved PDF signatures. You can now save your signature in Chrome OS, so you can easily sign PDF documents without having to draw it each time. Chrome OS 115 also makes it extremely easy to use your own signature with PDF documents. Not only are you able to sign documents, but you can also save your signature to be used in the future. This is meant to make the experience frictionless, along with making it simple and easy to sign docs with a tap and in scale. Improved window management. You can now more easily snap windows to different sizes and locations on your screen. You can also now float windows on top of other windows, which is useful for things like watching videos or taking notes. I showed you this last month by turning on flags. Now it is a part of the OS. Updated Keyboard Shortcuts app. The Keyboard Shortcuts app has been updated with a new navigation and taxonomy, improved search, and a refreshed shortcut visualization. There is a new shortcut app. If you've ever been wondering what keyboard shortcuts to use if you take a screenshot or manage multiple virtual desks, this will be a way to go. All of the different shortcuts are broken down into categories, but there is a search bar at the top if you're looking for something specific. Integrated reading mode on desktop. You can now enable reading mode on any website in Chrome OS. This will make the text easier to read by removing distracting elements like ads and images. Here's how to enable the built-in reading mode in Chrome 115. 1. Type Chrome://flags into the browser's address bar. 2. Search for reading. 3. Enable the reading mode flag. 4. Restart Chrome to apply the changes. On web pages compatible with reader mode, an open book icon will appear on the right of the Chrome's address bar. Reader mode is a view mode that makes reading a web page more enjoyable by removing distractions. Most browsers allow users to enter this mode by clicking the book or newspaper icon in the address bar. Allow this time, option for location, camera, and microphone permissions. You can now choose to allow websites to access your location, camera, or microphone for only one session. This is useful for websites that you don't use very often. In Chrome OS 1.15, Google introduced a new Allow This Time option for location, camera, and microphone permissions. This option allows you to grant a website or app access to your device's location, camera, or microphone for a single session. Once the session is over, the website or app will no longer have access to your device's sensors. The new option gives you more granular control over how your device's sensors are used. For example, if you're only interested in using a website's map for a single session, you can grant it access to your location for that session only. Once you close the website will no longer be able to track your location. To use the Allow This Time option, you'll need to be running Chrome OS 1.15 or later. When a website or app requests access to your device's location, camera, or microphone, you'll see a new prompt that includes the Allow This Time option. To grant access for this time only, click the Allow This Time button. The website or app will then have access to your device's sensor for the duration of the session. Once the session is over, the website or app will no longer have access to your device's sensor. Here are some of the benefits of using Allow This Time options. 1. It gives you more control over how your device's sensors are used. 2. It helps to protect your privacy. 3. It can help to improve your device's battery life. If you're concerned about your privacy or battery life, you can use the Allow This Time option to grant websites and apps access to your device's sensors for a single session only. This will help to protect your privacy and ensure that your device's battery doesn't drain too quickly. Improved aesthetics for the Memory Saver function. The Memory Saver function has been updated with a new design that makes it easier to understand how it works. The Memory Saver function in Chrome OS 1.15 is designed to help you save memory by automatically hibernating inactive tabs. When a tab is hibernating, it's not using any memory. However, when you reopen the tab, it will reload the page from the beginning. To enable Memory Saver, follow these steps. 1. Open the Chrome browser. 2. Click on the three dots in the top right corner of the window. 3. Select Settings. 4. Click on Advanced. 5. Scroll down to the System section. 6. Under Memory Saver, toggle the switch to On. You can also choose to exclude specific websites from Memory Saver. To do this, follow these steps. 1. Open the Chrome browser. 2. Click on the three dots at the top right corner of the window. 3. Select Settings. 4. Click on Privacy and Security. 5. Scroll down to the Permissions section. 6. Under Site Settings, click on Memory Saver. To exclude a website, click on the Add button and enter the website address. Memory Saver can be a helpful way to save memory if you have a Chromebook with limited RAM. However, it's important to note that hibernating tabs will reload the page from the beginning when you reopen them. This can take a few seconds, so it's not ideal for tabs that you need to access quickly. Chrome OS will now automatically upgrade HTTP websites to HTTPS whenever possible. This helps to improve security and privacy. There are a few reasons why this feature is important. First, HTTPS is a more secure protocol than HTTP. HTTPS encrypts all traffic between your browser and the website, which makes it more difficult for attackers to intercept your data. Second, HTTPS can help to improve your browsing experience. When you connect to a website using HTTPS, your browser will be able to cache the website's content more effectively. This means that pages will load faster and you'll be less likely to see errors. Finally, automatic HTTP to HTTPS upgrades can help to improve the security of the web as a whole. By making it more difficult for attackers to intercept data, this feature can help to deter attacks and make the web a safer place for everyone. There are a few things to keep in mind about automatic HTTP to HTTPS upgrades. First, not all websites support HTTPS. If a website doesn't support HTTPS, your browser will not be able to automatically upgrade the connection. Second, automatic HTTP to HTTPS upgrades can sometimes break websites. This is because some websites are not properly configured to handle the HTTPS connections. If you encounter a website that doesn't work after automatic HTTP to HTTPS upgrades are enabled, you can disable the feature to see if that fixes the problem. These are just some of the new features in Chrome OS 1.15. Okay, I hope you were able to get some of that. I want to show some of those things, but before I do that, I want to show you how I accumulated some of that information using AI, because finding all of that information was not easy, and because it's new and there's not a lot written about it. So what I did is I went to, let's go to my screen and share and minimize this and this. And I'm going to bring up Chrome, which is probably one of those that I just brought down, but you'll notice here is a website called Claude.ai. I love it. It gives me all kinds of information. So what I did is I put what's new in Chrome OS Flex 1.17. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. So, but that was one of the things I did. I also put in there, what's new with Chrome OS 1.15, and it gave me a whole list of things as well. So let's go to another tab and go to Claude so I don't erase that's there. And I'll show you.
You spell Claude, Yui.
CLAUDE.
Okay.
.ai. So I'm going to the website. I got so much going on here. 3 computers. Are you seeing this? No, because it's just going round and round.
Going around.
Yeah, there we go. It should come up now. The other page is there. Okay, so I don't know if I can run 2 pages of it or not, but you're not seeing it, are you?
I only see one.
Okay, well, you do see it. Okay, well, for whatever reason, my Chromebook isn't seeing it. That's frozen. Oh, wonderful. I want to demonstrate it. All right. Well, anyway, what I did is let me change this. And I just said, what Chrome OS 115. Did it type in?
I don't see anything there.
No, it didn't go in there. All right, we'll try it again.
There you go.
And just press enter, and bingo. Here are some of the key features. And it just prints them out. It's that easy. I love it. It's a lot easier than going to Chrome or Google search bar and then finding websites to come up with all of this. Then the other thing that you can do is I can say, okay, let's see, improve performance. What? I don't see some of the nearby share. I want to see if I can find the media controls, screen recording. A lot of this is from last month, from 114. So it didn't do as good a job as it did the last time for me. So let's see here. Let me find my text file. So I'm going to stop sharing. But anyway, that's how I do the search. And then as I found each piece, I expanded and I say, explain this, and it explained it more. And I was able to put that script together for that video that I just showed you. But it looks like I lost my Chromebook online. Why is that? Oh, of course this would happen. Let me try closing out Flex and see if that helps. Might not like me having 3 connections going. So it might be. Never works when you want it to. All right, we're going to skip going over each of those. I was going to try to demonstrate some of those, but it looks like my Chromebook is not cooperating. So, but any questions about anything, either something I talked about there or something else with Chromebooks, and then I'm going to go in, we're going to look at some of the news articles that are available that I've posted on the Learning Chromebooks Facebook page. Any comments or questions? John just put in the link to Claude AI, and you have to log in, but it's free, and I use it extensively, and I've found it to be usually quite good. But because it's AI, don't bank on it. Okay, so let me, let's see, let's share my screen again. And share sound in case I need it. And we're going to go to Facebook. Why is this up here? There we go, move that over here. And go to Facebook. And then go to Learning Chromebooks. That's going to work. Okay, good. Let me full screen it. And I posted a bunch of things today, but this is about Chromebooks, how to install Google Earth Pro on a Chromebook. And let's see, it's here. So we'll just go to that article. And this article tells you how to do that. If you're not familiar with Google Earth, it is a fantastic program that you can map out things. You can see them from above. You can see them streetwise and so on. It's actually an app, and you can install it on a Chromebook now. And this article will tell you how to do that. You can download it. You're going to have to run Linux, but that's not hard to do. And then you run the Google Earth Pro for it, and it will tell you how to do it. And so that's one thing that you might want to check out. Let's go to the next article. Powerful new Chromebook tablets are coming, and they should finally bridge the gap between laptops and tablets. I'm hoping for a good light Chromebook tablet that also has LTE built in. In other words, it will connect. I can add it to my telephone account and be able to connect no matter where I am with it. I have an iPad, an older iPad, that does that. And so I like to carry that around with me. The problem with some of the Chromebooks, like mine, will turn into a tablet, but by folding it back, it's a 360-degree hinge. If I fold it all the way back, it makes into a tablet, but it's too heavy. And it's clumsy and it's thick because the keyboard's on the other side of it. I would like just a plain tablet with maybe a removable keyboard or an external keyboard that I could use once in a while, and then have it and use it as a tablet. Anyway, hopefully they are coming and coming soon. 20 seconds to smarter Chromebook multitasking. I should have read that article, I guess, for all I'm doing here. But let's go ahead and take a look at that article. And I'm going to go to reader mode in Chrome, which there is now a reader mode in the Chromebook, and you should be able to find that. But okay, so here's the reader mode, add the current tab. Bring it over here. And it should load.
It's counting down.
Well, I'm not seeing it.
It says 10 seconds, but it's been at 10 seconds.
20 seconds. Yeah. Oh, nothing's going to work today.
Oh, there it goes.
No, I'm moving it.
Oh.
Anyway, here's the article. So if you love finding hidden software treasures as much as I do, and that's the author of this article, Google's Chrome OS operating system, productivity playground, is like no other. And what you can do with the multitasking feature is this right here. And I was hoping to be able to show you that directly on my Chromebook, but not. But let's go ahead and make that bigger. Get this out of the way here. And if you run a Windows machine, you may be familiar with this, but you can make it half and half, partial, full, or you can have a floater. I talked about this last month, and that floater will float on top of whatever's on your screen. And so you can do a lot more multitasking and have either two documents open, one document of what you're working with and one that you're getting information from, or you can have the floater with some information on it that you can move around the screen while you're looking at something else underneath it. And that's strictly by hitting the full screen, but holding your mouse over it, and it will bring those choices up for you. I've used this quite a bit on my Chromebook, and I really like that feature. Here's how to enable the Chrome reading mode. It has something similar to what I was trying to do here. And as you can see, you can have the reading mode, and you can then look at an article, have it fairly large, and then do whatever you're doing in the other window. You may have to turn on the flags if it's not turned on by itself, and you can do that, and it gives you directions on how to do it. The next article is from Chrome Unboxed. And if you don't look at that website on a regular basis, at least follow the Facebook page for Learning Chromebooks, because I post a lot of their things there. They're coming out with a Chromebook X, which are higher end Chromebooks. And they're going to have the name Chromebook X instead of just Chromebook on them. They're going to be a better quality. They're going to have more things in them, but they're also going to be more expensive. It's going to be the higher end Chromebooks. But because more and more Chromebooks are being used in business, by having the Chromebook X, it's going to give you a quicker look at those Chromebooks that are a little bit more powerful that you can use for other things. Because as more and more of the programs that you might want to run are going to be available for a Chromebook, this is, I would say, a good idea of having separate Chromebooks, higher end ones and then regular. Now, higher end ones are going to be Chrome X. Looks like X is the letter of the year, with the fact of Twitter being renamed X as well. Next is Chrome OS 115 ties your Chromebook and Android phone even closer together. And that was one of the things mentioned in my video. But there's some things about it you have to bear in mind. And let's see if this article mentions them as well. I played with adding a PDF signature, and it actually worked. I was quite surprised. I was able to make it work. The directions in which I was trying to follow were almost right. So it's going to vary by your model and version of Chromebook and the and what you're using to read PDFs. But I was able to make a signature by writing on it. Luckily my Chromebook has a pen, and I was able, it's just a piece of plastic, but I was able to use it. Or you can use something that's a little bit more controllable than your finger. And if you do that, you can get a nice signature. Once you get it, you can save it and then put it on other documents, and you can resize it and so on. There's a chance that some devices aren't currently supported. Oh, this is let's see, the app streaming that I mentioned in the article, and I said it will work with the Pixel and the Xiaomi that it's called, Xiaomi, and the different models of it. It's not yet available for things like my Samsung S22 or even the S23s that are out. It's only with Pixels and the Xiaomis. But when it works and when they add more phones to it, it's going to be easy to move items from your phone to your Chromebook or watch them on your Chromebook from your phone. So you can take a screenshot. The major feature coming from the latest version is a new shortcut app. If you've ever been wondering what the keyboard shortcut to use, you want to make a screenshot or manage multiple virtual desks, this will be the way to go. All the different shortcuts are broken down into categories, but there's also a search bar at the top. So there's a way to bring up a shortcut app, which will show you a lot of the new shortcuts. So if you want to do a screenshot now, there's a shortcut for it. And let me go ahead and stop the share and see if there's any questions or comments. Anybody?
No.
Well, either I'm doing good or I'm not doing good at all, one or the other. But I wish my Zoom.
You're doing very good.
I wish the Chromebook was working, but it is not.
That's okay. I couldn't get on with my Chromebook either. Well, it's actually the Computer Club's Chromebook. I couldn't get on today, so. But it's done 2 updates, and it finally is up to 115. It was at 113. So.
Somebody else.
Have you found, Huey, that when doing an update on the Chromebook, that sometimes if it has been a while, that it might do the first one because it was at 113 and updated to 114, and I did a check update again, and then it did update it to 115.
Oh, really?
So
okay. I haven't noticed that, but I usually run it often enough that
Yeah, and this one isn't.
I'm not usually too behind.
Yeah, this
But
one is not used as often here at the club. Mine at home went right to 115, so no problem. But
yeah, now the Chromebooks are version 115 of the operating system. The Flex is 2 versions ahead. I updated that today to 117.
huh.
So they're starting to do more with Flex. I'm hoping they're going to do more and more with it, but they haven't given up on it. It's still available. Now, for those of you
And
who
Flex is
don't
the one that
remember,
works on something other than a Chromebook.
right, I'm using it on an old PC, little notebook, 11-inch notebook that had Windows on it. Doesn't have a touch screen, but I was able to put Chrome OS Flex on it, and it runs. It runs. It works fine. And for whatever reason, they're 2 versions ahead of the Chrome OS. I don't think it has to do with they're not ahead of the things that Chrome OS 115 does. It's just they were not in sequence when they were updating.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Flex does work, and I'm happy with it. It just doesn't run any of the
None of the fancy stuff.
it doesn't do any of the Android.
That's okay.
But you know, for the most part, a lot of the stuff now that I run is cloud-based. It's not app-based. And if that's the case, it works fine. The only thing I don't like about using that particular notebook is the fact that it doesn't have the touch screen, and I just love a touch screen. And I touch it a lot, but it doesn't do anything.
I know. When touchscreens first were introduced for computers, I said, what in the world are they thinking? But then I figured, with the tablets and phones, it makes sense. It doesn't matter which computer I sit in front of, I will touch the screen at some point, whether it's a touch screen or not.
Yeah, you can tell by the fingerprints on my Flex machine that I'm trying to do that myself. Yes.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any comments or questions?
Yeah, yes, on the Samsung, I have a Samsung 21 S21 23. You can sign the documents directly on it without going anywhere.
Right. But the Chromebooks didn't have that ability until now.
Right. But talking about Android, the Ultras, you have the pen, the S Pen, and you can sign your signature just like you do on a piece of paper if you like.
Right.
Yeah, it's neat. What you're also going to find now that once they add more phones to it, you're going to be able to easily connect your Android phone to your Chromebook, like I do with my Windows machine and my phone. And it makes it very easy to move things back and forth, or I can even look at my phone on my Windows machine and actually use the microphone and headset on my desktop to make a phone call using my phone, as long as it's nearby, and you connect it using Your Phone app from Windows. And you're going to be able to do much of the same with Chromebooks with some of the new things that they've added with 115. Okay, any other questions? I'll go back to looking at some of those articles, but I at least got that set up just in case. So we'll go back and share. Yeah, here it is. Chrome OS ties your Chromebook and Android phone even closer together. I think that's the one I just looked at, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one that we have to use just those numbers.
Yeah. But eventually, the other phones will be added,
right?
Probably in the next couple of months. And let's see, does it tell what it actually does, though? It's been about a year and a half since they announced that they were going to be doing it. How to set it up. It doesn't tell exactly what it does. Okay, so what we're looking for is Chrome OS and your Chromebook, an Android phone. And let's go to Claude and ask here, Forgot you don't overwrite anything. Why did that happen? There we go. Okay, Chrome OS. Just put how afterwards. The Phone Hub allows you to access your Android phone's apps, notifications, and photos, and more directly from your Chromebook. You can respond to texts, access recent photos, check battery life without having to pick up your phone. And there's a Wi-Fi sync, automatically connects. Let's see if I can make that bigger. Yeah, good. The Wi-Fi sync automatically connects your phone and Chromebook to the same Wi-Fi networks for seamless connectivity. When your Chromebook connects to a Wi-Fi network, your Android phone will automatically connect as well. Nearby share, and some of this I demonstrated last month. That's already available, but not all of it is. But you've got instant tethering. You can let your Chromebook automatically tether to your Android phone cellular data when no Wi-Fi networks are available. No need to manually turn on the hotspot and connect. And there's a smart unlock. You can unlock your Chromebook automatically when your phone is near without needing to type in your password. I tried that. It's still not working with my Samsung, but when it works, that will just make it easier. Message notifications mirroring. You can get Android phone messaging notifications directly on your Chromebook, so you don't have to keep checking your phone. And you can reply right from your Chromebook without picking up your phone as well. So in summary, the Chrome OS 115 aims to provide seamless connectivity and integration between your Chromebooks and your Android phones for easy access, sharing, tethering, and unlocking, and more. The goal is for your devices to work together intelligently and automatically. You're seeing more and more of this. As I said, I can do it with my PC. You're now going to be able to do it. I'm also going to be able to do it with my Chromebook, with my phone. And it just makes everything, if it's on my phone, I don't have to worry about how am I going to get that to my computer. It's easy to do. And you can do that now you're going to be able to do that with your Chromebook as well. Did someone have a question?
Yes, Gerald Smith.
Okay.
I have a question. The new Pixel tablet, is that currently integrated into the Chromebook operating system or the Chromebook universe?
It is not. It is an Android tablet. It is not a Chromebook tablet. It's going to operate much like a Chromebook because you're going to be using Chrome and Android apps, but it is strictly an Android. So a lot of Chromebook things aren't going to work on it, but anything from Android will without a problem. So if you want to stay as a Chromebook user, the Android tablet is really much different and it's going to operate somewhat differently.
Yeah, I know it operates a great deal like the Android system on a Pixel phone. And what I'm wondering is, are they going to upgrade the tablet such that it'll have the capacity as the Pixel phone does to integrate in with your Chromebook?
Who knows?
The Pixel phones right now will interact with your Chromebook, but whether a tablet will or not, I don't know.
Yeah, the reason I ask is I just got my girlfriend a new Pixel tablet. She has a Pixel phone, so she understands how at least both of them work.
Yes, yeah, that's the nice thing about doing that. Now I have an Amazon tablet, which is very similar to both of those, but it's still an Amazon product. It's not a Google product. And so even though it's similar, it's still different and not everything works the same. Yeah, you have to have an Amazon account and so on.
Yeah, I have two Amazon tablets, the older one, and I have a newer one. I think it was new in 2022. It's a very nice tablet, but you have to side load some things, and Amazon only has a limited number of applications you can download. But yeah, the price is right, and it's fast, and you can hook it up to a Bluetooth keyboard. I mean, they're
Yep.
nice, but like I said, I bought my girlfriend a new Pixel tablet, and I'm just wondering whether that's going to integrate more into Chromebooks. That's all.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're going to see that. But if she's got a Pixel phone, that will.
And I think if you have a Pixel phone, you better have one that's Pixel phone 4 or better, and I will get her a new Pixel phone next year.
This next article, and I still am sharing good, the Chat GPT Android app is rolling out, but Chromebook users should steer clear. And I'm going to explain that. And I was hoping to be able to show you that. And it's the reason that some of the new Android apps for phones don't work on a Chromebook well. They work, but the problem is when you open them, they're the size of a phone, and if you try to make it full screen, it doesn't. So it's always the size of a phone. When you hit the full screen, it just moves it over to the edge. And so it doesn't get any bigger. And in other words, it's not the author of the program or whoever it was that wrote the software for that particular app didn't take in mind that it could work on a Chromebook. And one of the things that Google is trying to get these people to do is to make them so they're Chromebook safe or full screen safe. And the reason they're doing that is these new phones that are coming out, Samsung, for instance, has the flip, but they also have the one that opens up into almost the size of a tablet. And if an app is still only going to take up one side of that, what's the sense of having the phone that opens up? So they're trying to, what Google is going to do is they're going to rate those apps less because of that. And so it will entice the people who write those apps to make sure that they will go full screen. So I think some of the ones that right now don't go full screen may in the future. But that is the one problem with the Chat GPT Android app, that it just doesn't get bigger, and you're better off using the online Chat GPT on the Chromebook than you are to use the app from Android. And I demonstrated that, and there's a video on my YouTube channel, and it's part of one of the Learning Chromebooks from a few months ago. I think 2 months ago, might have been last month, where I showed how to use AI on a Chromebook. And that's where you do it using and going to websites to use them as opposed to using the apps. Now let's go ahead and stop the share so you can look at each other for a few minutes. Any comments or questions, Stu?
No.
Jolyn?
No, just anxious to go get my new phone.
What are you getting?
I got the Pixel 7a. It was on sale on Amazon, and my poor phone is just my Moto Z4 is on its last legs. So I got a little email because I'd been looking at the Pixels before on Amazon, and it was like $729, which is just incredible. $429, excuse me, not $429. So
well, good. And you're going to be getting, have you ordered it already?
It's here. It's down. It's about 4 blocks away at the Whole Foods in a locker waiting for me to pick it up because I knew I wasn't going to be home. So I had them hit the locker instead. And I knew I'd be here at the club, and it's right around the corner. And then I'll come back here, and I've been in birthday shooting some old computers that we have to recycle them. So, and
okay.
Anyway, This is terrific. I can't wait. I'm going to rewatch when this is posted again. And these are always such interesting and informative sessions. And thank you for inviting me to be a part of them.
Well, thanks for coming. There's so much with the Chromebook, and there's not a lot of information out. And I do invite you to use things, some of the AI stuff like Claude. You're going to find ChatGPT is only up to date to 2021. So you're not going to find a lot of.
Yeah, I use open.ai/playground and like that very much. And it's given me, I just basically get outlines for presentations I'm going to give. And it really does such a good job. I don't like the chat part, like the back and forth thing where I'm chatting with an AI. No, that doesn't do anything for me. I like to search for an answer or give me a listing. And then like you do, you get information about what's going on and you take that and make it your own.
Yeah. And then you can take any paragraph that's in there and say, okay, explain this more. And it gives you a whole bunch of stuff. Step by step of what you can do.
Definitely.
But the only problem with using it, sometimes it doesn't know and it makes things up. Yeah. So if you're going to do that, and then pass it on to somebody else, make sure you
read it.
You go through the directions and try yourself, because it may not be factual, or it may be way off, and it may be just.
I did an interesting thing. I used OpenAI Playground, and I had written a tip to share through our newsletter, and I asked it to see, to review it and rate and see. And that the first answer was, "It looks good." I did it again with ChatGPT, and it actually rewrote it a little bit. It sounded better, and I combined the two of them and put it in the newsletter. So it's the kind of thing that's it's an excellent tool if that's the way you use it. I think the other stuff that's going on and how people are going to use it, and if people, for replacing journalists or replacing actors and that kind of thing, that's potentially there, but
it gives the newspaper and the TV news something to talk about.
Exactly.
What I have found, though, is if you ask a question to any of the AI ones and it looks good, but it's not what you want, you can tell it, reword this as if I was telling it to a 12-year-old.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, it'll reword it, and it's really good then to explain to seniors that don't know the topic at all. Absolutely. And so it's a way to do it, and it puts it in words that don't assume that you already know all of this. And I think it's a useful tool for any of us that are trying to explain things either to ourselves or to others. I've been playing with a Mac a little bit, and I don't know how to do something. I just go in and I type, "How do I do this on a Mac?" Bingo! It gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. I follow the steps, and it's there. Oh, that's how you do it. The
funny thing about that is Google does the same thing.
Yeah, Google now is, but I think you have to be signed up for the labs.
Well, I did. So I really like that. Yeah. I like that additional AI input at the top of my Google searches.
Yeah. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about or what we're talking about, let me show you. Let me go to a Google page here, a Chrome page. And if I say what's new in Chrome OS 115, now I'm asking Google this, you will see that it's
generating at the top. Yep.
It generates something. Sometimes it's in orange, and it may be when it finishes here. Yeah, there it is. It gives you some generative AI is experimental, so it gives you some information here, and then down at the bottom,
then the rest of the search is below it.
It's the rest of the searches, absolutely, and that's really.
I really am enjoying that feature a lot.
I think that's because I have Search Labs on there. And
I also have Google One, and I'm a workspace individual. So that's part of why I have everything. But it's really nice.
Yeah, somebody had a comment.
How do you turn it on, Huey?
I'm sorry?
How do you turn it on?
Well, let's ask.
Good question. Hey, Detlef.
Yeah. First, I'm going to copy that so I don't have to type it in again.
Yeah.
I hate to type. So we'll do that first in Google. On your computer, open Chrome. Make sure you're signed into your Google account with incognito mode turned off. You don't want to have the incognito. And tap the new tab in the upper right corner of your screen. Tap the labs icon, which is what I had, and join
which is
the
a little
wait
beaker.
list.
It's an icon shaped like a little beaker, like a little.
And
if you go back to a search page,
right here.
Yeah, there it is.
And then you join the wait list, and then for each lab you want to use, click enable and show more. If you want to stop using lab, just click disable, and then click save changes at the bottom of the page. And then sign up for search labs on your computer. Open up Chrome, make sure you're signed into your Google account, new tab, right? And then click the lab. So it's just saying the same thing.
Yeah, basically the same. Yeah.
And if that,
it's nice to have access to those kinds of features if they're helpful.
Yep. And then you can always go to Claude and ask Claude how to turn on the Google Labs.
Yep. But I'll play with Claude and let you know how I like it too.
Yeah.
I love that. Anthropic.
Yeah, that's the name of the company.
You can paste it.
Yeah, I know. I remembered that after I started typing.
I hate to type, but then you didn't paste. You copy it, then didn't paste it.
Yeah. Okay, go to the Google Labs website.
That's the other stuff that they use.
Yeah, labs.google.com. And that's where Google hosts experimental features. And you can scroll through to see descriptions. So let's go there. Be an early tester, and then you can come down here and it'll give you all information about it and tell you how to sign up for it.
Yeah, Huey, it's the kind of thing that involves everybody. It's the kind of thing that they don't offer it automatically, which is why you have to go and sign up, because some of us aren't into using these kind of extra features and stuff. So they're not shoving it down our throats, but they are making it available to us if we choose to go and participate.
Yeah. It's one of the tools that are out there, but using something like Claude or the playground of Open AI or any of those, if you can't remember how to do something or you don't know how to do it, try those first. And then most of them will give you steps, and then go to websites and find articles and so on to give you more information. But I think you'll find, for those of you who are using Chromebooks and you run into something that, how do I do this? I don't know, or can I do this? By asking the right questions or rewording it sometimes to some of these AI, it'll astound you that it's so much easier than calling Huey or calling Jolin.
And yet I actually got a call from San Miguel in Mexico today to help a friend. Yeah. So they call from all over.
Comments, questions from anybody? I hope I haven't dumbfounded you and confused you. There's a lot of tools out there for you, and and the more you know how to use them, the easier and less frustrating some of these things are. Because I forget how to do something, and I just type in there, how do I do this? I wanted to do something in Excel, and I couldn't remember how to do it. I simply asked how to do it, and it gave me step by step exactly what I had to do, and it worked fine. Yes, Rod, you have a question or comment?
You have to have an account of some kind to use Claude?
You may have to register with your name and a password, but it's free.
Okay, thank you.
And I would suggest don't use a password you used anywhere else. That's what I do, and use a password manager, or I have many of these in different places. But if you got one of these little notebooks, I get enough at trade shows and so on. I don't know if you can see it or not.
No, we can't. Luckily, we can't see the passwords.
Well, there isn't any in there. It's a blank
okay.
page with a blank page with lines on it. But I give one of these. I have enough of them. When I go to one of my neighbors to work with, I say, because they all have little Post-it notes stuck to each other in a notebook somewhere. And I say, here, write them all in this. And then when you change one, not only just cross it out with a light line and say changed and put the date you changed to. And then make sure you have a date on the new one. And so you can track which ones you had when, because inevitably you'll forget one and you'll ask for a new password and you'll get it. And then you'll forget to write that one down and all you have is the old one. It was like,
we were able to.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, what we were able to do is we actually have a little password book that we printed out. Well, you can't really see that much, but we hand this out to our members when they come in, especially those that come in without their passwords.
Yes.
So it's something just to help people get organized and get started with good password keeping.
Yeah, any kind of a booklet that's not just individual pieces of paper that can get lost is a good way to do that.
A really good way, definitely.
And I did see a notice on Facebook today. It says, my grandmother got a note from a guy on her computer saying that we have your passwords. And she wrote a note back saying, oh, thank God. Can you send them to me?
That's a good one.
I ran into that this week. I changed a password and I could not find what I changed it to. I never wrote it down in my password manager. And boy, it was heck trying to get it, but I finally figured it out and found it written down somewhere, and I was able to get it.
We suggest that when you are setting up a new login, a new password, write it down before you even type anything into the screen. Write it down, put the date, put the website, put your email or whatever you use to log in, any secret codes or answers that you have to give. Write it all down and then type in.
That's right.
And then compare them before you say okay.
That's right.
Yes.
Because I've mistyped when I was typing in the one I already made up and wrote down, and I couldn't get in. And I kind of guessed and figured it out, but yes.
You have to double check that your caps lock isn't on.
Yeah,
that happened on the Chromebook, but anyway, I can't stand it. I am going to say goodbye because I know you guys are just about finished. I am going to go pick up my new phone.
Go have a good time.
You guys have a great afternoon, everybody. We'll see you next month.
Thanks, John, for your help. And Stu, thanks for yours. To answer a couple of questions that people wrote in the wrote in the chat box. Why do I have to re-sign in when I try to get into the meeting? And that's because I made some changes in the sign in to keep out the Zoom bombers. And once it's re-entered in there, you shouldn't have to do it again. If you've done it twice, that might be because you're registered for one of my other meetings that also I had to do the same thing for. So with that, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next month.
Thank you.
And the recording of this will be posted. Ron will do that. I'll send him the recording. He'll get it ready and post it on the Tech for Senior channel. And the first part that I did of the recording, that will be on my channel as well, sometime later today or tomorrow. On that note, see you next month or next week on any of my shows.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Good show.
Yes.